Oh, hey friends. Good to see you again. It's been a while, like what, 2 weeks? Meant to do a little bit better, and hopefully someday I do get into the swing of things, of updating for myself and for you on a more frequent basis. But anyway, here we are. Look at this face. Hideous. This started about a week and a half ago. I woke up one day, looked in the mirror, and I saw this visage, and I started this like low grade rumbling beneath the surface panic began. But I didn't feel any different. Not at all. I didn't feel any differently. Not at all. Until Monday, a couple of days ago, where I felt like I was getting the flu. And then I got angry because I needed to do something on Tuesday that I could not do if I were sick. I'm like, oh, crap. I hope it's not, you know what, again, coming back to visit. I seem to be a magnet for that. Oh, crap. What if it's the new thing that's going around? Because I seem to be a magnet for anything that starts with a V and ends in an S. It just seems to like this craptastic terrain. So then I get really mad at myself because the first questions I start to ask myself are, what did I do? What did I do wrong? What did I screw up? I must have done something wrong. I screwed something up. I fucked up. I did it. I did it to myself. What did I do? What did I do wrong? And I had to realize I need to stop asking that question because maybe I'm not doing anything wrong, or maybe I did do things wrong, but I didn't really mean to. Because, I kind of lost a month of momentum ending up in a state of grief. Now, that doesn't mean I've been spending my days just like laying in my bed boo-hooing. Not the case. But I got off my game and I sort of lost my focus. Not dietary wise, no, absolutely not on that. But I'm going to touch on some little experimentation that I did and the results of that. Because sometimes you just have to pause and gain additional feedback. So this face, all right, let's start with the good, okay? I see two things that I'm kind of happy about. Right here, I'll get a little closer, all right? Let's see. Under this eye, I don't know if you can tell, there's a little itty bitty red patch. If the camera can pick it up, I don't know. It's very, very obvious to me. And yesterday when I looked in the mirror, it looked like this little red patch under the eye was starting to erupt in the skin a little bit. Now, that little red patch started in December of 2021 when I went to Florida. Now, I do try to wear sunscreen on the face, but it just it stinks, it's sticky, it's gross, it melts, it gets in your mouth, and then you taste it, it gets in your eyes, and then you can't see. I'd rather wear a hat. Honestly, just a hat, okay? A visor, something. I don't like the sunscreen on the face. Even so, sunscreen or no sunscreen, because my diet was craptastic, because I was on my way of bottoming out in winter of 2021, because I was eating way more plant foods and plant toxins and very, very little meat at that point. I didn't know what was going on. But in the space of about a week of being in the Florida sunshine, in the winter, in December, January of 2021, I had this patch. It was a dark brown. It was not a dark brown, but it was like a light brown at that time, and it scared me because it didn't look healthy. And then I don't know if you can see over on this side here, up on the cheek, see those little patches of discoloration? They popped out at the same time, in the sunshine 2 years ago. So I'm finding it very encouraging that these things are going away. But then when I looked in the mirror and I see this one erupting again, I was like, okay, so something is pulling out, and I'm going to put some additional topical vitamin D and castor oil, and I know I'm going to be okay. But I think just because I'm feeling so crappy and so shitty that this is causing some inflammation in the eyes too. Yeah. Sleep. I'm not sleeping. I mean, I'm sleeping and I'm kind of getting enough sleep for what I need to do, but it's so precariously balanced, and I know that you know, one little upset and that whole sleep thing is just going to go sideways. For about a week, I mean, how can you function if you're going to just sleep for an hour and a half and then wake up? I mean, the most sleep I'm able to get at one time is 3.5 hours tops. Now, I was doing really well before the grief hit. I was at least at 4 hours, sometimes 5 hours. Okay, but 3 usually is the average. So sleep for 3 hours, then be awake for 4 hours, and then sleep for another 3 hours. I mean, it's just annoying. It's so annoying. So I did a sleep study. Now, doctor ordered this sleep study. I think it's called Virtuox, and you download an app on your phone called Night Owl. And they send you all the directions, and you put this little thingy on your left index finger, and it's just a sensor. You turn it on, put it on your finger, glows red. You tape it there, press go on the app, and you go to sleep. All right. So they only wanted me to test for 2 nights. I literally slept an hour and a half each night, but I kept the sensor on for like 7 hours. So I don't know what it's gonna say. It's supposed to track if you're stopping breathing when you're sleeping, because that seems to be the way that people suffer from lack of sleep. But I'm not quite sure that that's my case. I don't know. I think it's a nervous system thing, and I think it started back in COVID when we were working so hard that it literally turned to round-the-clock communication, and about 3 hours was as much as one's brain could stomach without like checking your email, you know? Like, you have to be at work at 7 a.m., but information might come in at 3 a.m. that you need for 7 a.m. So it would be helpful to wake up in the middle of the night and get the memo, right? Yeah. And I'm not quite sure, but that's when my sleep really started to go wackadoodle. Grieving sleep. Oh, the brain. Okay, this is really weird. Okay, eating meat, using L-theanine. I also have the silver, the X-Clear, Biocedin, and some kind of soy protein thing my doctor put me on. But here's the thing with the soy protein thing. Oh my God, it was $149 for this bottle of soy protein. There's just this thick, goopy, ugly liquid. It's supposed to be a biofilm disruptor. I've only taken a couple of doses. I'm really trying to get cranking in on that. I also added in Chanca Piedra, which is called a stone breaker. It's very effective against kidney stones, which is not one of my problems per se, but can't hurt. Now, when I added that in, about a week later, something really amazing happened. This area over to like the left portion of the stomach, maybe like the stomach pancreatic area, up under the left rib cage, that's a particular spot that gets really, really aggravated at any kind of digestion of carbohydrates. Like, forget it. Breads, pastas, beans, noodles. Not going to happen. Oh, the way my healing goes is for 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks, absolutely nothing happens. We're just holding steady, status quo, and then boom. And the time it takes to stand up from your chair and walk from here to there, all of a sudden, your body goes, ooh. And it's like, wow, something right now, in this very moment, just shifted. I don't know what, but it's been like that for the last 15 months. The healing just takes a little dink up, and it's so amazing. Oh, I added in autonomic gold, and I know that's doing something to decalcify, and it's having some kind of profound effect on the gut as well. Things are just working out better. They really are. My physical strength is getting stronger. I mean, even in spite of the weakness the past few days of treating myself with my good friend Ivan. You remember Ivan? Starts with an I, ends with an N, has a V in the middle. Substitute the letters, you know what I'm saying. So one of the ways that I like to test my strength is getting in and out of the bathtub, because, I'm old, right? So that's a good test. I have this big old clawfoot tub, and it's deep. So I can put my arms on the side of the tub and I can lift my body up. Now, I was only able to do 1 rep, but yesterday I was able to do 2. So, yeah, I know that's a weird visual. But anyway, but it's a really good test. Like, you know, I can lift my body up on the side of the tub with just my arms. Feels so good. Oh, yeah. So last Thursday, I was going to a little event at my grandchildren's school, and it's an old school. Do you remember the way they used to construct these school buildings with like 8,000 steps just to get to the front door? All right. I walked there because the school's really close. So by the time I get there, I'm feeling really good, and without even thinking, I start walking up the steps 2 at a time. Not only that, I'm not even holding on to the railing because I got my cell phone in this hand and a bottle of water in the other, and I'm just boom, 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 boom. I was like, that was 48 steps, and I only took 24 because I literally took the steps 2 at a time and did not need a railing to hold on to. Isn't that amazing? I'm going to take that and celebrate that as a supreme win, even though I look like I'm going to die tomorrow. Benadryl and melatonin. Ugh. Back to the sleep thing again. It's driving me absolutely bonkers. My doctor said that melatonin is really important for your myelin sheath, something like that. It's an excellent, antioxidant. The only problem is I can't stand the melatonin hangover, and I keep titrating down, and even as low as 1 milligram of melatonin, it doesn't keep me asleep, and then I have that sluggish, icky, something sticking to me feeling the next day, and I hate that. Same thing with the Benadryl. Like, it's great, but it just isn't, my body is not reacting to these things the way it did in the past. It's just not. So I'm supposed to take a Benadryl and a melatonin every single night before I go to bed. I tried that, but after about 3-4 nights, I was just spinning out of control with misery. So now I'm back to not taking them, and I'm not sleeping any more or any less. I'm just not. 3 hours, 3.5 hours, 1.5 hours. Last night, I went to bed at 11. I woke up at 1:30. Yeah, what was that, 2.5 hours? And then I was awake 1:30 until about 4:30. And then I think I woke up at 8:30. So that's not bad. That was like 4 hours. But I wait until the morning to get it. Like, what is going on? Now, I've tried getting massages. I've tried exhausting myself with physical activity. I've tried having those days where, I'm out and about and doing things and just living life, and yeah, surely I'm going to be able to sleep tonight. I exhausted myself. No. Those are the ones where, you can't fall asleep until 1 a.m. and then you're still up at 3:30 anyway. I do not need to be awake at 3 o'clock in the motherfucking morning. So where does this all lead Holly? It leads her straight into procrastination. Why? Because I need to detox this house, and I need to detox my body, and I'm overwhelmed, and I know that I'm going to be kicking up such tremendous amounts of dust and debris and ugliness that it's gonna suck. And so I've been pushing it off, kicking the can down the road. Sorry for the pauses. I just, the detox is going to be intensive and it's going to suck. And I'm like, one part of me really wants to avoid that Hexheimer reaction. And another part of me is like, I think it might have already started. That ship has sailed. Embrace the suck. Deal with the misery. What's the worst that can happen? Well, the worst that can happen is the toxins overwhelm because of being pulled out faster than they can actually pull out, and then they get recirculated, and then you feel dizzy, like you're going to fall over, and you lose your balance, and you're a little wonked. Or maybe your gut is like retching. I don't know. I guess I'm going to find out, because probably what's going to happen is all of this is just going to converge all at the same time, mind you. And I know me. If there's a slimmest chance of overdoing it, I'm going to overdo it. I don't mean to, but I know me. I'll keep pushing that envelope across the table a little further. Anyway, let's see. What else do we have here? Ooh. I don't like that one. Let's talk about loneliness. What did I write here? After 6 years lately, 30 plus years of chemical sensitivities, finally had a shuffle, and up popped an emotional trigger from 30 years ago. This is a tough one to examine. Hypervigilance makes me nuts. And it's a very long standing habit. This hypervigilance keeps the panic energy alive and going, which I don't like. I don't know. Hypervigilance. Hypervigilance and panic. Two of my best friends. Why? Yeah, because, the chemical sensitivities, the mold issues, it just puts you into a category of not on the same playing field as normal people, and that leads to extreme loneliness, because you're just like, now you're just not part of the crowd anymore. You can't fit in. You just freaking can't. Anyway, I'm crashing, not sleeping, up and down all hours of the night. If I go to bed at 10, I'm up at 2. If I go to bed at 11, I'm up at 3. If I go to bed at 12, I'm up at 4. I can't seem to get past 4 hours. It's either 1.5, 3, 4, 2.5. Could be neurological, could be a vagus nerve thing, could be a somatic thing. I'm probably going to have to get professional help to deal with it. Night sweats. What the fuck? Fucking night sweats, man. I'm sorry about the F-bomb drops, but I never dealt with night sweats before. And I'm postmenopausal. I mean, it just... Ugh. Yeah, maybe it's a vitamin deficiency. Remember, I kind of dropped the ball on things. Just not really meaning to. Night sweats. That's disgusting. Got to get to the bottom of that. Because I'm not living like that anymore. Fucking night sweats. Night sweats. That's disgusting. Pause. Alright. Yeah, not living the rest of my life with night sweats. We're going to get to the bottom of that one real soon. Okay, so what else is going on? All right, now this one's fun. This one's a lot of fun. Let me ask you this question. Have you ever awakened in the morning with a line of a song playing through your head? And you're like, I just opened my eyes. I just quit a dream. And now I got this song playing in my head, which has absolutely nothing to do with anything that I dreamt, okay? I just have this song playing in my head. Well, the song was Right Down the Line by Jerry Rafferty. So, like, all right, let me go play that song. I start listening to that song. The one, I need your love. You've got that hold over me. As long as I've got your love, you know that I'll never leave. When I wanted you to share my life, I had no doubt in my mind. And it's been you, woman, right down the line. I know how much I lean on you, only you can see. The changes that I've been through have left a mark on me. You've been as constant as a northern star, the brightest light that shines. It's been you, woman, right down the line. I just wanted to say this is my way of telling you everything I could never say before. Yep, this is my way of telling you that every day I'm loving you so much more. 'Cause you believed in me. Through my darkest night, put something better inside of me. You brought me into the light. Threw away all those crazy dreams. I put them all behind. It was you, woman, right down the line. Now, I listened to that song and I thought, ooh, That's hitting differently this morning than I've ever heard it sung before, because it's a great song, right? We all know it. But it hit differently. It felt different. That's the only reason I'm bringing it up, because for the past 3 days, that song has been like just singing to me. Probably because I keep pressing play over and over again. That has something to do with it, right? But here's what I started digging into. What is the meaning behind that song? The meaning behind that song is like the perfect union, a partnership, a marriage, a commitment, a love, something really profound and special. Something unattainable. Not for everybody. Sorry. Stupid pauses again. So, even though that didn't happen to the extent in my life that it did for the song, I felt it. I felt that magic coming through the words of that song. And I felt, every time I listen to that song now, I feel what it would have felt like if I had found that right down the line person. You know what I mean? Like, if they existed and if we had found each other, the vibe that would have been created, it's all in that song. And so I can go back to that song anytime I want to, and I can feel that union. I can feel that love. I can feel how freaking amazing that is. All right. Okay. Isn't that glorious? All through some lyrics of a song. It just felt like that love was being reached out across time and space. Isn't that cool? Yeah. Wow, I hadn't thought about romance or anything in a long time. And I won't think about it ever again. Except I will begin to indulge in a little more romance. I don't mean with people. I mean like in a movie or a book, or maybe I can construct some stories. I know a little thing or two about stories. You know, I think behind every successful romance novel writer is a brain and a heart looking for that perfection. I can create that fantasy. I'm going to work on that. That's going to be a long-term project. Like long-term project. Tap into that wonderful, perfectly balanced union and create some stories. That might be fun. That might be a lot of fun. I like that idea. So that's where I'm at, you know? Stuck inside of Jerry Rafferty's head. It's not a bad place to be, honestly, friends. It's not bad at all. All right, so what's this have to do with carnivore eating? Nothing. Except the next time you go listen to Jerry Rafferty's Right Down the Line song, substitute the word woman for ribeye. There's your carnivore angle. All right, today's hot carnivore tip is brought to you by, unfortunately, non-fat Chobani yogurt. Why? Because sometimes you just can't. I wish they made this stuff in fat. It's convenient, right? Convenient. Now, for some of you, this is gonna have way too many carbs at 15 grams. 12 grams of protein, not bad. Totally not enough fat at 0 grams. But again, I'm prepping for another gallbladder flush, which I meant to do last month, but the grief just sidetracked me 100%. It takes a certain amount of, energy, focus, and strength to go through that purgation. All right, so one of these, this is the only brand I use, and the reason is it has 6 live and active cultures: S. thermophilus, L. bulgaricus, L. acidophilus bifidus, L. casei, and L. rhamnosus. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, whatever it is, it's working for my gut. And when I started adding in this yogurt last August, I believe, or September, game changer, game changer. Now, I don't eat just the yogurt, and I don't do smoothies, because remember, like, I'm lazy, I'm simple, and I don't like to cook. So if it's not easy, I'm not going to do it. I'd rather spend my energy for hard things on things other than food. So I spike it. I use this collagen peptides, probably not the most pure brand, but if you look at the back label, at least it has the essential amino acids. And when we examine the other ingredients, it says dun, 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 none, which is exactly what some of us need. And then I get the Knox gelatin, or any brand of gelatin. It really doesn't matter. This has 4 little packets in it. Sorry, competing with somebody who decided that now was a good time to do their grass. All right, I'm going to finish up real quick. Gelatin, collagen, stick it in the yogurt, mix it around, getting a little extra nutrition. So my nails, they're not as brittle. They're still breaking. Got a lot of work to do. Gallbladder liver flush. This is going to be round 4 coming up. Then after that, it's just going to have to be a double down, get down and dirty, be willing to end up with my face in the carpet. Been there before. I can do this again. I can do this. I think it's time to just purge. Like, just get a plan together and just frickin' purge it all. Purge the shit I don't need in my house. Purge the stuff I don't need in my head. Purge the clothing that's too big for me that I'm no longer wearing. Yeah. Why? I don't know. Why am I hanging on to size large t-shirts? I don't know. Time to let go. Time to let go. All right, I have talked too much, and now you can't hear me because the lawn guys are starting again. I love you. If you made it this far, you're nuttier than I am. Bless you, my friends. We'll see you soon.